Minecraft Java Edition versus Minecraft Bedrock Edition. The fight of the ages is upon us, and we are going to cover this one more time here on OMGcraft. So about a year and a half ago, I made a video, Java Edition versus Bedrock Edition, and oh my gosh, it was contentious. You guys really do care about your Minecraft edition. So we are going to recover this topic with a fresh new look because I feel like a lot has changed in that year and a half. If you're just coming to this story fresh and new, let me first off give you a little bit of history of Minecraft. There is really two games of Minecraft when it comes to Minecraft. What I mean by that is there is a Java edition of the game and a Bedrock edition of the game. And while the content is the same, while the updates are the same, while a lot of these two games look incredibly the same, those are actually two completely different games. One is coded in Java, one is coded in C++. That means every feature, every detail has been reworked from one or the other, so they are completely separate games that share zero code. So they have made two versions of Minecraft. They label these two different games differently. Minecraft Bedrock Edition is actually just called Minecraft. That is it. Minecraft Java Edition is called Minecraft Java Edition. So if you're looking at like a thing in a store and it just says Minecraft and not Minecraft Bedrock Edition, that's why. We and the community, and technically we have to say something because just Minecraft seems to cover all the games. So for the rest of this video, will call it Bedrock Edition, even though officially it's only called Minecraft. The Java edition of the game is the classic and was released first. So the Java edition came out in 2009. I want to say 2019, but that's this year. It came out in 2009, 10 years ago, May 17th to be exact. And that was the classic edition of the game. It really wasn't until the alpha that things started sort of picking up. That would have been in June 2010. Then the Pocket Edition was released. That was originally made just for the Xperia Play. It was made in 2011, and it was a completely new code base to play on that phone. And this was a very stripped down version of Minecraft. It didn't have all the features that the Java edition had. And for many years, this was the case with anything other than the Java edition of Minecraft. The Java edition was the first. It got developed first. Any other editions sort of copied that edition, but they always lagged far, far behind the normal Java edition of Minecraft. There's been many, many other editions as well. There are console editions. There's an Xbox edition made just by 4J Studio, and well, I guess in partnership. There have been Raspberry Pi editions. I mean, there have been hundreds of editions, it feels like. I guess I'm doing a little bit of hyperbole here, but there have been a lot of editions of Minecraft. We've sort of narrowed it down to two in recent years, but lots of editions, and they all copied Java and always lagged behind in terms of development. Now, all of that changed basically around the time of the Better Together update. The Better Together update took all of the various editions that were kind of the most popular, Pocket Edition, Console Edition, and Windows 10 Edition, and merged them all together into one code base. Sorry, PS4 people. The PS4 got basically ignored for a few years until recently, when now PlayStation 4 is also on the Bedrock edition of the game. So now everything is really under Bedrock. It took until the Better Together update to really allow all of these to be able to communicate with each other because they're all different coded for different systems. With Better Together, you got crossplay amongst all of the various different types of the Bedrock edition, and you basically got feature parity with the Java edition. From then on, any update, say the update Aquatic, we just got the Village and Pillage, and also the Buzzy Bees update. All of those have come out at the same time on Java and on Bedrock. So nowadays, there really is no disadvantage to be on the Bedrock Edition because you get the major updates at the same time. So, to reiterate, we have two games that are the same in their content, their website, all their marketing materials, and the basic heading of the game is the same. And what I mean by that as the heading is we also have Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Earth. And those are completely separate games, right? They have a different heading because they're Minecraft Earth or Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Java Edition, Minecraft. Those are the same heading of game. So those are the similarities between the two games. But then when it comes to the actual gameplay, okay, the gameplay is the same, but really the code, which is everything about the game, is different. So you'll get different UI, a completely different rendering engine, completely different supported systems, where Java Edition is really only on the PC, Mac, and Linux computers, and the Bedrock Editions is really everything else, unless you have a really old device that has to play on a legacy edition of the game. So that was the past history of Minecraft. Where are we now? What is the current situation when it comes to Minecraft? Either game that you get, you will get the same updates and features mostly. There will be small itty-bitty differences, only nominal differences between the games that are small features. Maybe how one thing was coded versus another. Some examples of this are like snow acts differently when it comes to the Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. Redstone acts a little bit differently. The menus, those are all different as well. They have a lot of a different feel, and if you're in creative mode, one menu looks one way and the other menu looks another way. And even minor itty-bitty animations, like if you're on the back of a horse, it'll animate one way in Java Edition and another way in Bedrock Edition. All of these small changes and small differences are really hard to keep track of because it's kind of like, where do you draw the line? Like, okay, a button acts this way in one game and this way in another. It'd be a huge list of minor itty-bitty differences, but also in the end, they are two completely different games. They're completely differently coded. You know, everything had to either be copied from one or the other. And so there is no really definitive list of everything that is different between the two games. So those are the minor differences. What are the major differences between Java and Bedrock? And I would say number one is mods. On Java Edition, it's much easier to install, manage, and maintain mods. And then on the Bedrock Edition, if you happen to be on a phone or a console, it's almost impossible. If you are on Windows 10 Edition, you can add, it's not really a mod, it's a behavior pack and a resource pack in order to change how the game behaves, but you're really not modifying the game. And so there are limitations, some limitations when it comes to what you can accomplish with behavior packs and resource packs on the Bedrock Edition, where there's almost no limitation when it comes to what you can change on the Java edition of the game. Another big difference is servers. It's a little easier to set up a Java Edition server, although Pocket Edition servers are now just as easy. And if you buy or rent a server, they almost will always have a Pocket Edition available for you to run. Also, there's a lot more free multiplayer servers available. So you can do, Mineplex and Hypixel and Lifeboat and all those sorts of servers on the Bedrock Edition now, except that you do need to make sure that on whatever you're using, you have access to the internet. Because if you have Minecraft on an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Nintendo Switch, you do need to purchase access to the internet, be it PlayStation Plus, Nintendo Switch Online, or Microsoft Xbox Live. So that's kind of a barrier to entry there when it comes to servers. Performance. That is a hard one to quantify because performance on a phone, obviously you can't even run, Java Edition on a phone, but it's okay. It's great. Same thing on console editions of the Bedrock Edition. Performance is great. When it comes to the Windows 10 edition, if you're playing on a PC, I tend to see that performance isn't quite as optimized on a PC, which is kind of funny because you can run it just fine on your phone, but running it on a massive computer with, you know, tons of cores and memory, sometimes it doesn't handle that all that great when it comes to the Bedrock Edition. And the thing is, Java Edition really isn't all that better, because Java Edition can have a whole bunch of performance issues as well. You can modify Java Edition, so you can add some things that will make things run faster. You can also change settings a little bit easier to make everything run a little bit smoother. So performance, I would kind of say you can mess around with both. So there really isn't a winner when it comes to which game has the better performance. So that's what it is. Another huge difference is access to the newest features of the game. And this one, Java Edition, absolutely wins, because Mojang and Microsoft can put out snapshots, weekly snapshots, very quickly and easily for players to test. And that's just not true on the Windows 10 Bedrock versions. You have to access a beta program that will kind of take over your entire game. It's really difficult to switch back and forth in and off of that, and they don't update it as quickly as they update the Java Edition snapshots. So if you're someone who absolutely needs access to the newest features as they are being developed, then Java Edition wins. The thing is that both editions really get the same release on the same release date. So the big releases like Village and Pillage, the upcoming Nether update, all of those will land on the same day for both editions. It's just only if you want access to the experimental builds and the development builds, then Java is really where you're going to be able to do that. Another big difference is content that you get outside of what you already make. So if you're going to make a single player world, that doesn't count. I'm talking about content that's made by the community for you to play and enjoy. On the Java Edition, all of that is mostly free. You have a saves folder, you drop a world or a map into that saves folder, and you can play it, and it's free. It does take a little bit longer for you probably to curate out the bad stuff and the good stuff, and you have to download it to your computer, which is always a risk. But once again, it's free. On the Bedrock Edition, you don't really have access to the full community. You have access to a marketplace, and that marketplace does cost money, but that marketplace is fully curated, and almost everything in the marketplace will be good content, although it costs money. Then again, you get the advantage that you're not actually downloading anything to your computer. You're keeping it all inside of Minecraft. You're not going to run into any viruses or issues like that. So it's really, to me, it's a trade-off. On one hand, there is free content on the Java side that includes skins, worlds, resource packs, all of that sort of stuff. That's all free and community driven. On the other hand, you have the Bedrock Edition, which costs money, but you get the advantage that everything is curated. You don't have to download anything that is suspicious, and you know you're going to get quality, although it costs money. Finally, let's talk about crossplay, because on Java Edition, you can play with any other Java Edition player. And then on Bedrock Edition, you can play with any other Bedrock Edition player. But on Bedrock, you get the advantage that if your friends are on a PlayStation 4, an Xbox, a Switch, a phone, a tablet, all of those players can play with you as well. On Java Edition, they have to be playing on a PC. They have to also be playing on Java Edition. So if your friends are already playing on something like their phone, then Bedrock Edition is the way to go, because if you have it on your console, then you can play along with them. So when it comes down to which edition you should buy, let's talk about that. So you are in the market to purchase either Java or Bedrock Edition. Which one should you buy? What are the things you're going to need to look at? Main thing is, what are your friends playing on? Because if all your friends are on Java Edition, you're going to want to stick to Java Edition. If all your friends are on consoles, phones, and tablets, you're going to want to stick to Pocket Edition so that you can play with your friends. So that is the main thing that would factor in to, especially if you're playing on a PC, it's easy to switch to either of the two editions. So figure out what your friends are playing if you're on a PC. If you're on a phone, tablet, console, or any other thing, then Bedrock Edition is basically what you're forced to play. So you're going to have to do that if you don't have a good enough PC, which a good enough PC when it comes to Minecraft is not too expensive. Also, if you want to make sure, if you're buying this for a friend that you know is going to have a hard time downloading and managing content, then the marketplace may be a huge advantage. They have to spend money in order to access the marketplace on Bedrock Edition, but hey, it's completely curated. You're not going to run into viruses and that sort of stuff. So you're going to want to download the Bedrock edition of the game. Now, why would you want to buy the Java edition? Because all your friends are playing on Java edition, for one. But also you get free access to servers, maps, skins, resource packs. Although you have to go online, find it yourself, do all of that curation yourself, and then you will get it. You can just download it and add it to the game for free. Also, if you want access to the development builds, the fastest and most up-to-date updates when it comes to Minecraft, of course, you're going to have to be on Java Edition for that. Also, if you're playing on something that, if all you play on is a PC, then you're good to go. If you play on console, well, obviously, you're going to have to switch and not play the Java Edition on console. And finally, with Java Edition, a lot of YouTubers and content creators play on Java Edition because it's the classic edition. It's the one that they know. It's easier to modify. It's easier to change around and easier to record. So most YouTubers and content creators are going to be making videos for the Java Edition. So if you're someone who really wants to watch videos and tutorials, then you may want to stick to Java Edition over Bedrock Edition because you'll be able to follow along and there's not going to be any changes because there's those micro changes in Redstone and other little things that may not work out exactly the same. Then you may want to be on Java because almost all of the YouTubers also play on Java Edition. And finally, price. If the price is really what matters and you have the option to play on your phone, it's a lot cheaper on an iOS or Android phone to buy Minecraft. If you buy the Java edition or the Windows 10 edition on your PC, it's a little bit more expensive. Also, I have seen this floated around a lot. A year and a half ago, you were able to buy the Java edition and you got the Windows 10 edition for free. That is no longer the case. So you are locked in to whichever edition you decide on. You are locked in, so you don't get the Windows 10 edition for free on a PC anymore. So you'd have to buy it twice. You'd have to buy the Java edition, and you'd have to buy access to the Windows 10 edition if you were going to play on a PC. I know what the comments are going to say. Hopefully you've watched the video this long, because I know they're going to say Java edition, classic, community-driven, for free. I know it. And they're going to kind of, poop all over the Bedrock edition. I feel like both of them have their place. Both of them are great. They have different updates. They have different, things that are exclusive. Java has something that's exclusive. Bedrock has something that's exclusive. And I think that both of them are completely fine additions. You will be happy with whatever edition that you buy of the game. That about wraps up this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, Java Edition and Bedrock Edition videos here on OMGcraft. See you next time. Bye.